Hi, good morning to everyone. So in the last class, we were talking about the facts which are determining the demand, right? The factors which affect the demand or the factors which determine the demand. We had discussed 4 points. They were, do you remember which are they? Which are the factors or determinants of demand for a commodity? So let's go back for all those points. First one was price of the commodity. Then second one was income of the consumer. While talking about the income of the consumer, we talked about 3 types of commodities. They are normal goods, then inferior goods, and inexpensive goods of necessities. Then we talked about consumers' taste and preferences. Then at last we talked about prices of related commodities. While talking about prices of related commodities, we talked about complementary goods and substitute goods. I think you remember what is substitute good and what is complementary good. All right. Now, and one more thing, do you remember what is cross demand or what is cross price effect or what is cross demand? It is related to complementary goods and substitute goods. Now, the next point or the next factor which determine the demand of a commodity is consumers' expectations. Consumers' it is the 5th point. Okay, consumers' expectation is the 5th point. So, how the consumers' expectations affect the demand of a commodity? See, a consumer can have different types of expectations. For example, suppose there is a rumor that there will be an increase in the price of a particular commodity in the nearby future. Definitely what will happen? People will go for purchasing more and more amount of that particular commodity at the lower price that is available at the present. So, the people will prefer for more consumption. Another example, see, now these days we are facing the biggest problem in our lifestyle, that is COVID-19. So when the lockdown time started, people were hurrying to purchase more amount of consumer goods to keep at home by thinking that there will be a shortage of commodities. Did you understand? So that is an expectation of the consumer. Or suppose the consumer is expecting an increase in his income in the nearby future. What he will do? He may not be purchasing at present, or suppose he is expecting an increase in his income in the nearby future. Then by thinking that he will be able to pay for the commodity, he may purchase the commodity, he may utilize all the income that is available at present for consumption if the price of the commodity is low. Or suppose there is a chance of a war with a foreign country, with a neighboring country. Then by considering a wartime in future, people may go for purchasing more amount of commodity. Or if people are expecting a fall in the price of a particular commodity, definitely they will stop purchasing now and they will wait for the time when the price of the commodity decreases. So that is how the consumer's expectations is affecting the demand of the commodity. Next one, consumer credit facilities. Okay. What do you mean by credit facility? Credit facility. See, from bank we are taking loan, we are getting loan, right? So that is a credit facility. When we are in need of money, we can approach bank and we can submit the necessary documents. And if the bank is satisfied with the documents that we are submitting, they may provide a particular amount of loan. That is a credit facility. So like that, there are so many different types of, there are microfinancing companies. So if such kind of credit facilities are available, that will increase the consumption because the people will be having more amount of money with them. That is, the available of liquid money will be more in the economic system in circulation. So if people are having more amount of liquid money with them, definitely they will prefer for purchasing something, or if they are planning to purchase something and if they are getting a credit from a bank, definitely they go for that particular commodity. See, in these days we can experience an increase in the number of vehicles, especially the four-wheel vehicles. Do you know the reason? Because these days banks are giving more number of loans, that means vehicle loans. So people are able to purchase more automobiles. So that has increased the demand of automobiles these days. Okay. So the availability of consumer credit facility it may increase or decrease the demand for a particular commodity. Suppose the credit facilities are not available, definitely that will decrease. In the case of automobiles, that will decrease the demand of automobiles, just as in the previous case. Next one is, seventh one is size and composition of population. Size and composition of population. Okay. What do you mean by composition of population? Composition. By the word composition of population, we mean the number of the different sectors of population. Different sectors means the teenagers, those who are in their younger age, or those who are adults, those who are in their old ages. So these are different sections. The children, parents, then old people, all these are different sectors of society. So that is what we mean by composition of population. If a country is having more amount of population under the age of 30, then there will be more demand for a particular commodity which is normally consumed by people under the year of 30. Or suppose a country is having the composition of population, or most number of people in the society is above the age of 50, then the demand for commodities will be more which are used by those people. That means those who are very old. So that is what we mean by composition of population. Then size of the population. How the size of population and composition of population affect the demand for a particular commodity. When the size of the population increases, then the demand for consumer goods will increase. Is it not? Which means consumer goods means the commodities which are consumed in our day-to-day life. So when the number of, suppose there is only 10 people in a country, then the demand for rice will be 10 kilogram per week, or suppose 10 kilogram per day. And suppose the number of people in the country increase from 10 to 20, definitely the demand for rice will increase from 10 to 20 kilogram per day, if 1 kilogram of rice is consumed a day. Right. Suppose the population increased from 20 to 50, in that country, then the the demand for rice will increase from 20 to 50. All right. So when the size of population increases, then the demand for the consumer goods definitely will increase. Then the composition of population. If more youngsters are there in a country, then the commodities which are consumed by youngsters will be more demanded. I think it's clear. Next one is distribution of income. Distribution of income. So what do you mean by distribution of income? I think we have discussed the same point the previous year. Distribution of income. By distribution of income we mean availability of income in the society. How income is available in the society. Do you remember the term equal distribution of income? You remember, is it? By equal distribution of income we mean that everybody is getting the same amount of income for equal job. Suppose there is a worker working in the field, a male worker, there is a female worker working in the same field and doing the same work. So both of them should get same wage, is it not? That is the equal distribution. If the income is equally distributed in a society, then the demand for consumer goods will be more. Understood? If the income is equally distributed in a society, then the demand for normal consumer goods will be more. If unequal distribution of income is there, then the poor will remain poor and the rich will become richer. Right? So those who are very rich, because of their influence, they will earn more income. And those who are very poor, they may not have much influence and they may not come into the mainstream of the society. So they will fail to get an increased income, so that they will remain poor. And from their part, there will be no increase in the case of demand. Then those who are becoming more rich, they will be having enough income for the normal consumer goods, consumption of the normal consumer goods. Then after that they will go for the luxury goods. Luxury goods like television. Television is not a luxury good these days, but anyway, the luxury goods like air conditioner, then whatever it be, or some costly vehicles. So for all those things, then the demand, if unequal distribution of income is there, then demand for luxury goods will increase, because those who are rich, they will be having more income. Is it clear? Next one, last point is government policy. Government policy. So what do you mean by government policy? We had studied what is that subsidy, then what is tax. So the government, by government policy we mean that if the government is increasing the amount of tax on a particular commodity, then the demand for that particular commodity will come down. If the government is declaring a subsidy for a particular commodity, definitely the demand for that particular commodity will increase. Or if the government is decreasing the tax on a particular commodity, then the demand for that particular commodity will increase. How? If the tax is being increased, that will affect the price of the commodity, and that will increase the price of the commodity. If the price is getting increased, definitely people will decrease the amount of the commodity that they are purchasing. That will decrease the individual demand as well as the market demand. Then suppose the government is decreasing the taxes. If the tax is getting decreased, that will decrease the price of the commodity. If the price of a particular commodity is coming down, then normally people will go for that particular commodity. Then in the case of subsidy, if government is declaring subsidy for a particular commodity, you know what is subsidy. So if the government is declaring subsidy for a particular commodity, then the subsidy will help to decrease the price of that particular commodity. And if the price is decreasing, that will increase the demand, because the price of the commodity and demand has inverse relationship, so that when the price is decreasing, definitely the demand will increase. So let's once again go through all the points. There are 9 points. First one was 9 point means there are 9 determinants which affect the demand of a commodity. First one was price of the commodity. Then second one was income of the consumer. While discussing income, we had talked about 3 types of commodities. Then consumers' taste and preferences. Then prices of related goods. So related goods means there are substitute goods and there are complementary goods. Then consumers' expectations. Then sixth one was consumer credit facility. Then seventh one was size and composition of population. Eighth one, distribution of income, and the last one was government policy. Alright. So go through all these points in detail. There are more details given in your textbook. So go through all the points. Make short notes. As I had told you in the previous year, you have to make one copy for economics. That is, you have to keep a copy, and you have to, after completing each lesson, you have to attend the question answers given in the backside of each lesson, at the end of each lesson. And more than that, as I had told you last year, make a short note. Keep a copy for writing short notes. And in the short note, you write the points like this. Write the points, and in your own words, give a short explanation for that, so that it will be easy for you to understand when you glance through those pages. Alright. Thank you.